Hi, it's Phil from smilinggardener.com, and today I'm talking about kelp, and specifically liquid kelp is what I use more often, but any kelp will do. And it comes from the ocean, and because it comes from the ocean, it contains a huge array of vitamins and minerals, over 70, as well as proteins and other kinds of great substances. But the really nice thing about kelp is that it has these natural plant growth hormones. It has mainly cytokinins and auxins, and they help plant processes in the roots and in the leaves and in fruiting, and so they're really useful for a plant. And it's one of the reasons I use it a lot is it's really very inexpensive, and a little bit goes a long way. The other thing I like about it is that it can be harvested very sustainably. It's starting to be that there is some over-harvesting going on, but if it's done right, kelp grows to be over 100 feet, sometimes over 200 feet long. And if you just come along and chop off the top couple, like it can grow 2 feet a day sometimes. Just go chop off the top, it's very sustainable, it renews itself really quickly. And so if you find something that's harvested sustainably and then processed well, which is more of a cold process, you don't want them to heat it up too much. You want it to be processed cold so that it retains the enzymes and the proteins don't get too denatured, and it continues to be a really live kind of product. That's what you're looking for. So I like to use it for my foliar feeding. I like to use it to start seed as well because of those growth hormones, that when the seed germinates, it has those hormones that really help it do a lot of things right away, as well as the vitamins and minerals. When a seed germinates, it needs, and different seeds are different, but it's going to need certain trace minerals that act as really enzymes to help it do certain things, kind of like catalysts to help it get going. So I soak almost all my seeds in it, not so much my legumes, like this is a scarlet runner bean. I just harvested most of these. There's a bunch of small guys on here now. You probably can't see them because they're small. Because you want to harvest them pretty often when they're growing to encourage more growth. So I don't soak legumes very much because it's not that great for them, but most other things I do soak, and I do it in a very diluted amount of liquid kelp and water. So it'll be like a teaspoon of kelp in a liter of water. And you don't want more than that because you just want that sort of 1 to 250 ratio. And then there's also a kelp meal or a powder, which is more of a dry fertilizer, which you can use. I don't use that as much. I really like the liquid because liquid fertilizing is so efficient. So I can put this in my sprayer with water and spray it onto the leaves of my plants. It's very efficient. But when I did live by the ocean, I would get a little bit of fresh kelp off the beach. I don't like to take too much of it because I think it has a very important role to play on the beach. But if you have an abundance of kelp nearby, pick it up, put it right on the garden as mulch or in the compost pile. You don't need to wash off the salt at all. It's buffered by all the other nutrients there. And it'll disappear quickly, but it's just an amazing organic matter additive to the soil, and it contains all the same things that a liquid kelp would contain. So if you want to know more about how much to use and how much it costs and things like that, if you're not on the website yet, I'll put a link to that below where you can read more about that. So that is one of my favorites that I use all the time. That's liquid kelp.